Aquarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late October 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Aquarius collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for Aquarius in late October? And as you can see, we're in the season spirit over here. You get to have your cards read by Bumblebee Kyle, big old tarot reading bee. Let's see what we got for you. We're going to start you off here with one card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just who might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Aquarius. Let's get this card out. What's the vibe? And I just always love this time of year. I really get to let loose and do stuff like this. It's always great for me. I hope you're wearing some costumes too. If you got any good ideas, you can let me know about it. Okay, so we have this card here, and I don't want you to get alarmed by it, right? We got the Big Bad Wolf and Red Riding Hood. That would be wild if some of you are wearing a Red Riding Hood costume. But to me, I don't get nervous about the Big Bad Wolf when I get this card. To me, this is more of a card or energy that represents focus. What you're putting your attention and awareness on could be super important. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the October subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk about it. So again, we see the card there, Red Riding Hood. We got the big old wolf staring her down in the background. So sure, maybe there is something where Spirit's like, all right, just be cautious with this, Aquarius. Maybe there's something where you just need to be cautious about how you're moving or with an individual. Just watch your step. It could also be an observational energy, very similar to the Page of Swords, where either there's someone or a situation that you need to keep your eye on, or maybe someone's keeping an eye on you. But the main thing with this card to me is focus. Attention go or energy goes where, or energy flows where attention goes. There we go. I knew I'd get it, that little tongue twister. So when I think of stuff like that, it's like what you focus on, you could actually bring more in. So there is something here where Spirit's like either consolidate your attention on something, or maybe don't pay attention to this and pay attention to that. It feels very much like the King of Wands to me, where it's like, okay, you need to consolidate who or what you're paying attention to. So we're just going to leave it at that. Let's get into tarot. I hope that made sense, but let's see what the tarot cards say, and hopefully Red Riding Hood will be safe over there. But yeah, we're just going to get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Let's shuffle it up one time here for my beautiful Aquarius friends. What do we have in late October? And yeah, don't worry about that card. It doesn't make or break the reading. But while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was very much on edge. The reading was titled They Are Nervous. So again, whether it was you or another person, to me, it just felt like someone that was kind of in the mind a little bit. It was giving me like thought loops and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully you've been relaxed. Hopefully you haven't been too stressed out. Or again, maybe it was somebody else with the thought loops going on. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Aquarius. What do we got in late October? All right. I mean, that's a good start. Ace of Cups, I'll take it. Let me get that tucked in right there. I will take that. You know I love aces around here. I always feel like they're fantastic regardless of what we're going through. Thank you. 8 of Wands, I'll take that too. All right, I'm feeling optimistic here, Aquarius, and I'm going to try to keep it balanced and neutral. But with these 2 starting cards, I like how the energy is flowing. Let's go one more. Thank you. 6 of Wands, wow. All right, so far, this has a lot of potential coming up. So listen, I know a lot of you might be going through various different things. Maybe you're going through things that are frustrating you. Maybe you're going through things that are painful. But initially, before we get into like the meat and potatoes of this, these cards all lean positive. So you might have some really great stuff coming in. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know I always like to look at the elements first. And we have a complementary element for you, Aquarius. We have a lot of fire. Now, I always like to mention that although you are the water bearer, you are technically an air sign. So you work well with fire energy. Okay, fire signs and fire energy. So when I see this, it represents action, movement, passion, desire. The actions we take and the actions other people take is represented by fire energy. It can represent vitality, it can represent energy levels. The only downside to so much fire is that it could be unpredictable, where it's like, okay, I don't know how that's going to happen, or I don't know when it happened. There's an explosiveness to it. And I will tell you this, there's been a lot of it this week, not just in your spread, but in a lot of other spreads. Tons of fire energy for some reason. And then you have water right here in the front. That cools things off a little bit. So compared to some of the other signs, your energy seems like it doesn't feel as wild as the other ones. But let's go through this piece by piece. I mean, I'll just explain the water real quick. You know, that's the realm of feelings, emotions, love, partnerships, creativity. It could be good. But yeah, let's build this out piece by piece. Position number one, we're starting here with the Ace of Cups. Now, I always say with all aces, they represent offers and opportunities. They're beautiful energy, they're fresh, and they're new. They're revitalized normally when we see them. So, starting a reading off with the Ace of Cups is like, whoa, okay. So, whether your mind is career oriented right now or personal relationship oriented, this bodes especially well for personal relationships. But think of one's feelings of wellness when we see this Ace of Cups. How I feel on the inside. Do I feel good? Do I feel well? How do I feel about it? It's all about one's emotional state, and normally this is a really good card. So, sure, could this be a conversation or a talk? Absolutely. We do have more supporting evidence of that. Could be, your emotional state, absolutely, or an offer, an opportunity. There's a lot of things that this could be, but they all tie in with emotional wellness and love. That's what I like. Now, what might be the downside to any ace, not just the Ace of Cups? The energy is prone to flip. It could be a little flaky. So, like these energies, it could go from feeling very secure to unsecure, or something where it's like if you don't do it now, or if you don't go for it now, the energy could go the other way. This is limited time only energy. So, it's all good though. So we're going to put it down there. We'll see what it's about. So whether it is the energetic state or something other or something else. Now moving to the middle, as we get that tucked back, we have the Eight of Wands, another card that I like quite a bit. Extremely fiery, and we see the eight wands cutting through the sky. To me, it reminds me of arrows. This is one of the fastest moving cards in the whole entire deck. So we're talking about actions that someone's going to take. It's coming in hot. If it's actions you're going to take, if we're talking about results, we're seeing results. We're seeing big leaps and gains, which is something I like quite a bit. But this is a card of back and forth conversation where it's a little fiery, it's a little explosive, it's a little hot and heavy, which could be good, but at the same time, that's also the downfall, right? Where with the communication, it could be good and flowing, and then it could stop, and then it could come back. It's just like all or nothing when we look at the downside of this and the unpredictable nature. So there's a lot of chit chat, there's a lot of talking happening. But when we go from the Ace of Cups to the Eight of Wands, I love it. Now, the thing that really ties in this top row, and I'm really trying my best to stay grounded and centered about all this energy as I fix my antennae, we have the Six of Wands. This is a card of complete and total victory. I love it. It's always a great sign. It's always a very positive omen. It doesn't matter how rough certain things are. And again, I'm sure some Aquariuses are going through frustrating things, not ideal things. But with the way the energy's stacking up, it looks like energy is about to start working in your favor in a big way. Again, this is victory. Now, other things I think of with the Six of Wands, it represents notoriety. It represents kudos for the things that you do. It represents recognition. This is an attention getter. So, like, if you're the type of Aquarius where you're kind of like hermit mode, you like to stay in your lane and you don't like a lot of attention, this energy could be a little uncomfortable because it's like you're an attention magnet when this card is here. Now, what might be the downside to all that? I mean, all that sounds like a whole bunch of good. The Six of Wands can sometimes represent the ego or egotistical individuals. So, listen, I know a lot of beautiful Aquariuses in my personal life. Um, you know, hyperinflated egos is something that kind of rubs Aquarius energy the wrong way. So just watch out for that. But aside from that, I think we're looking pretty good. I want to dive deeper on all of it, Aquarius. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay. Let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. What do we got for Aquarius, please? In late October. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's see what that Ace of Cups has for you. Let's see what's happening there. Oh, and yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Aquarius, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is that Ace of Cups in the mix? Thank you. Eight of Swords in reverse. I like it. So now we're starting to get like the omens here because we have the repeating eights, which to me are very karmic. You turn an eight on its side, it's like an infinity symbol. So to me, I read double eights, especially as like karmic energies, but this feels good. Now, the Eight of Swords in reverse underneath this Ace of Cups, it's like I feel so much better about this. I feel relieved. So for a lot of you, there could be either an event that you get through it, or it could be something where it's like I'm starting to feel the weight lift off of my shoulders. So there's a relief here, which feels nice. So if you've been going through it for a while, this is a beautiful, claimable energy to see because it's like, okay, now I feel relief. Now I'm not stressing this. Now I'm not worried about this. It's almost like an energy of feeling free, so to speak. Now, the Eight of Swords can sometimes be mysterious. Notice it has the blindfold, surrounded by the swords. To me, when I see it, I think of either stress, anxiety, or nerves, like we saw last week, but it's also someone that feels trapped. The good thing about it, especially when we flip it in reverse, it is free. So again, there's just this energy where I'm feeling weight lifting off of my shoulders. That's how it feels to me intuitively. So there may be something that's bugging you or bothering you that you're dealing with where it's like resolution could be coming really soon, which I think is really, really nice. But we're not going to overthink it. There is some mystery to the Eight of Swords, especially with the blindfold. But I want to see how the rest of it goes before I label this like a full on victory, even though we have it in the other cards. To me, it's a relief. So something that you're stressing, it's just like, okay, I feel way better. Let's keep going. Feel way better. So let's see what that Eight of Wands has for Aquarius, please. It's like feeling soothed, feeling nice. Whoa, okay. So we have Lady Justice in reverse, talk about karmic underneath this Eight of Wands. And it's odd to me because the energy like feels relief, and then the Eight of Wands with Lady Justice, it's like boom, like something like unexpected action or even conversation could be here. Because remember, these cards are tied heavily into communication. And when I see Lady Justice in reverse, it could either skew one or two ways. Either this is a very aggressive energy or just one that comes in explosive and fast. So again, watch for situations that intensify quickly, even good ones. That's another thing I'm saying. Like good ones, bad ones, like there's just a lot of energy that can intensify quickly, go from 0 to 100. Now, for some of you, that's a great thing. For some of you, yeah, that's what I'm looking for, Kyle. Great, claim it. Lady Justice is usually very cautious, usually very balanced, doesn't really go to any extremes. Big Libra energy. So when we flip her in reverse underneath this Eight of Wands, it's like, screw it, and then do what I want. So we have like this relieved energy, and then we have like this kind of wild energy showing up as well. So just know like your wild side, your daring side, your risky side could be showing where it's like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to do it. It's like giving me that kind of vibe. Let's keep going. You might be a bit more of a daredevil. I don't want to warn you about it just yet. I don't want to say, oh, it's a mistake, because I don't feel like it is. Let's keep moving over to the Six of Wands. To me, it just feels more of a daredevil and someone there. It's like, I'm not going to let it bother me anymore. But screw it. I almost cursed. Let's keep going over to the Six of Wands. Why is that here? And then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. Boom. Beautiful. And it's like finding an alternate way to make something work. That's how this feels to me. So we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse underneath it. When I see her, of course, she can represent earth signs. Remember, it's not gender specific. So Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. And when I see the Queen of Pentacles, I think of traditional. I think of the way things are meant to be done, the way things have always been done. So when I see her in reverse underneath it, first and foremost, this could be like with all the energy I'm seeing in the middle, it could be an unexpected win or victory, or one that's something that just goes way better than expected. So I feel like all this is very claimable. But at the same time, I feel like if one door is closed, there's an alternate way to get to what you want. So just know, even if this doesn't describe something you're dealing with right now, even moving through the next couple of weeks, if there's something you want, a result that you want, there is another way. There's not just one way. There's not just one road to victory. There's multiple roads to get you where you want to go. And if anyone's good at thinking outside of the box, it's Aquarius. That's for sure. So when I see her in reverse, it's either unexpected, win or victory. Cool, nice. We get that. We kind of got that in the middle. But at the same time, it's finding an alternate path to make something work. So if you've been dealing with something and it's like you're running into a brick wall, Spirit's like, there's another way. There's another route. There's another way to do this, which I think is really beautiful. I really do. So even though we have reverse cards showing up, Aquarius, like don't be too concerned about that, because what this spread is intuitively feeling like to me is absolutely lovely. But let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card. I feel like the energy is going to be working pretty well with you in the near term future. But position number one, we are starting with the Ace of Cups and the Eight of Swords in reverse. To me, this was a very relieved energy where I feel weight coming off of my bumblebee shoulders, where it's like, okay, what a relief. So that could be a variety of different things, where something that may have been bothering you doesn't bother you so much, or vice versa, or even for cross watchers. It's just something where it's like, it's not so heavy anymore. Moving to the center, we have the Eight of Wands, Lady Justice. It's a little risky. It's an energy that's like, screw it, I'm going to do it. It's like one of those vibes. So just know you might be a bit more of a daredevil than you normally are. It did give me those little shades of an unexpected win, or a talk that gets hot and heavy. But to me, it's like I'm putting caution to the wind. It's like, I want to do it, I'm going to do it. It's someone that just, they don't think about it too much. So we go from the overthinking to not overthinking whatsoever. And I think it's good. Moving to the back end, at least for now, everything has a time and a place. We have the Six of Wands with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Two main things. This does feel like an unexpected winner victory, so something could go way better than you think. So much claimable stuff here for you, Aquarius. But at the same time, there could be a situation you're dealing with where you don't have to take the traditional route, or there's an alternate way to get the result you want. So if there's anything that's been giving you fits, anything that's been like running into a brick wall, this energy tells me there's other roads to reach your objective, and it looks to me like you will. So, Aquarius, please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, got the black and yellow shadow deck here. And yeah, we're just going to pull you one shadow card real quick just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they can be a good thing too. So, let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. They're the ones that help me pick out the costumes for this week. But let's get it going here. What do we got for Aquarius, my guide spirit team? Oh, okay. King of Pentacles. So we do have this energy that feels a little too structured in the shadows. Okay, so remember with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and we were speaking about tradition. Now we got the King of Pentacles, more of that earthy energy. And when I see the King of Pentacles shadow side, it is very predictable, but very strict in its ways. Where it's like, no, this has to be done this way, this way, this way, this way, and they won't hear anything else. So watch out for stubborn individuals, stubborn people, or even stubborn situations where you might have other ways to get where you need to go, but there could be other energies that push back a little bit. That's okay, because I still feel a positive result for you. The King of Pentacles, yeah, sometimes he could represent overindulgence in pleasure of the flesh. We're not even going to fully go that route. To me, it's more of just finding alternate ways that you don't have to think within the box. You can use different flavors to get things done. And watch out for unchangeable people or unchangeable things. So we're going to let him chill right there, Aquarius. Something might not be as stuck as you think it is. But yeah, that's what we have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The October subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation and book a personal reading with me, you could check out my digital calendar on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The October schedule is up there and it's filling up quick. So if you want to have a little chat, go over there and check it out. But for the October subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of the most stunning decks I've ever experienced, the Star Tarot. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments. Since last month, I asked everybody which zodiac sign they get along best with. This month, out of all the zodiac signs, which one do you clash with a little bit there? Drop it down in the comments. You'll be entered to win. And the winners will be announced in the community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.